the best way for me to explain to you all how the first 75% of our project will go would be to use examples of what we have already gotten complete. Okay? And it would just be best to show some examples. Because the last 25% honestly will probably just be a culmination of us just polishing everything that we have and, you know, making sure it's ready to go. And I've mentioned multiple times before, we plan on doing interviews with professors, and it was commented that we don't, he said they wanted to know some dates on that specific issue, and well, we plan on, me and Tim, tomorrow, Monday, the 22nd, we plan on getting in contact with one professor just to start off and trying to get that set up for the following week. But the main reason we have not gotten those done yet is because every time we try to do our preliminary questions, which is one of the first scenes that we do, just the 2 or 3 times we've gone there, we've had issues with just the handyman not being able to come in, the handyman coming in, and then us just having technical issues, and the last time we had to scrap it because we just realized what we were trying to do wasn't going to work out. So we're finishing all that, and we're meeting up tomorrow to get that first scene, but I will still be showing you footage from the first go that we had at this. But anyways, enough of that. More on the project. So my project is going to consist of music, recording narrations, and doing the interviews as well as on the field interviews. Okay, so for the music side of things, I'm going to be using the equipment of the Machine and Complete Ultimate, Logic Pro, Pro Tools, Machine Micro MK3, and the Complete Control S61 Gen 1 keyboard controller. And for the song that I'm going to be playing for you guys in just a second, to go over real quick how I went about it, like I started off with drums, and then I ended up spending a really long time on the chord progression because I got pretty much, I guess you could say, the main verse, and then I worked backwards from there to make an introduction, and I used a lot of theory, secondary fifths, and just kind of built my progression backwards, made it very jazzy and very kind of ominous in a way, because, you know, the whole documentary is on COVID, so it's starting off ominous, and as the track goes on, it gets more upbeat and lively. So I'll be playing that clip right now. Okay, so one of the next things we were working on is an intro narration. I will show a screenshot of what that looks like, and because I'm going to have to do this quite a few more times, so I took a bunch of takes of all the lines, and I cut them all up, and I made individual channels for each like phrase, and then I put them all right next to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, pick all my favorite bits that I like, and then I'm just going to put those down, use crossfade, get them all sounding nice and even, and then like just pretty much use as a puzzle piece, kind of just put the pristine, the best version of the intro narration in. And I will be doing the exact same thing for the outro narration and any other narration that should be coming throughout the documentary as well. For the intro narration, the equipment I was using was the Scarlett 2i2 Gen 1. This Recording Studio's Vanguard V4 cardioid condenser microphone, a pop filter, and Logic Pro X. I used the actual Recording Studio's vocal booth to record that, and yeah, that's pretty much covers the intro narration, and that'll apply to any other vocal work that is needed, and including any ADR if that ends up being necessary. And for the interviews, the equipment, even though the video itself, where we reorganized it, the equipment that we'll be using will be the same. And so far, I have the H6, which I'm using as an interface. I'm using two Audio-Technica shotgun mics, two Sony Pelican lav mics, a C-stand to hold the boom arm and the mic, and as well as Jeff's really nice antique boom pole. That thing's pretty nice. And where we're doing all the interviews is in the TV studio over in the top of College Hall. And we've tried using personnel for multiple times, getting them to come in, help us with the handy cam and such, but I think we're going to end up having to go back to the original plan of just doing everything just me and Tim. I still plan on sending my tracks out to get them, others to listen to them, but when it comes to the actual time, like the studio production time, usually the reason things did not work out is because someone couldn't come in or someone had something come up and they couldn't show up. Me and Tim are always there, but the others that are supposed to help don't necessarily always follow through. So we're just gonna go back to it just being me and him, which kind of sucks, mostly because that limits very much so what we can do aesthetically with the video. But in the long run, just to make sure things actually, progress, we're gonna have to, just make things simpler so that everything can come into fruition. And I think that about covers it, because mostly I'm working with audio. Obviously, I'm also going to be mixing a ton in there as well, because I'm going to have the final say on how everything sounds. But that's pretty much a given. The post-production side, the last 25% of the project is going to be all the nitty-gritty, face stuck in a keyboard, looking at a computer screen, getting everything sounding pristine and just how I need it to. So I hope that was a little more informative, and thank you guys for listening.